Really feel they're the basis to Kids in the Creek, and I don't know the author of this, but it goes like this. Tell me, and I may remember. Show me, and I might understand, but involve me, and I'll never forget.
This one has gills.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
So what does it mean?
It's a stonefly, or mayfly.
Yeah. All of a sudden, their eyes are opened up to a whole new world there, and awareness of what's going on.
Did you get some? No. Yeah? Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty.
We listen to them, hear the excitement in their voice, and the giggling and the laughing, they're and the concern. They want to know what's going on, and they're just pointing things. They're showing things to their friends. Whereas before, you know, well, that's not cool.
Y'all having fun?
Yeah, this is awesome. It's like so fun, but it's educational and stuff. It's really cool.
Kids in the Creek is a multidisciplinary, hands-on watershed awareness and educational program. We design it to be fun, safe, as well as educational. If you get out, you're involved in it, you're in an educational, real-life learning process, and then when you go back into the classroom, you pick up that book, and all of a sudden a light bulb goes off. This does make sense. I do understand. Or what I'm learning has some relevance here. So.
Like in their book, we'd probably just be copying stuff out, and then like here we get to experiment and like actually like feel the fish and touch them and see what kind they are and we're like, and we actually get to catch them ourselves. It's kind of like an adventure, like a challenge to do that.
I think you learn more when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I think you definitely learn more when you're having fun. This is a great way to do this.
Hey, you go ahead and handle it.
Kids in the Creek, it's a one-day normal school hours event. So we start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're generally through by 2:30 in the afternoon. And this gets kids back to school in time to catch their buses or, you know, their rides home.
We picked them up, but then they would revive after a little while. They put like 400 volts into the water, and then we got to observe them and do this little project on pollution.
We have fish. They're very fun.
When we're having the Kids in the Creek event, all the kids need to bring is an old pair of tennis shoes, a change of clothes just in case they get wet, and a towel to dry off with. In exchange for that, we hope we give them a whole brain full of good biological science, a good day of learning.
Did you relinquish the sample camp?
Safety is first and foremost, and we emphasize it continuously throughout the day's events with the Kids in the Creek program. Kids in the Creek is for everyone. Even we've had kids out with physical handicaps or possibly phobias or didn't want to get in the water or anything like that. So what I try to do, and my crew, or all the people that help out, we try to bring Kids in the Creek to them. If they don't want to come in the water, we'll bring the fish or the benthics or, you know, our aquatic sample over to them so they can see it, touch it, you know, handle it, ask questions about it, whatever.
If you guys want to gather around, you can handle these and release them as we count them, okay? Anybody want to handle some fish?
Me.
Oh my God, this is awesome!
That's another war paint.
Here's another one.
The war paints are the ones that have the mouth on that are oblique, pointed head. Okay? And these are pretty small.
Keep and
count? Yeah. And then there's another shiner here. That's a mirror shiner there. He's got his head's more rounded, and he's got a triangular spot in his tail.
When we're doing Kids in the Creek, we're really doing a real biological assessment out there in the streams. It's called an index of biotic integrity, so we're trying to follow those protocols as close as possible. And so the kids know they're involved in a real-time data collection process for assessing the stream's health. So it's not just a show and tell.
You guys are doing a great job with these numbers.
Right here in the Pigeon River, we had a significant find by the kids. At the benthic education station, the kids were out there looking for aquatic insects and other benthic organisms. Well, they found a mussel. That's very significant. That's the first time since 1913 that a live mussel had been found at this site. It's sampled at least every 2 to 5 years by professional biologists, and they have not found it. All of a sudden, we've got a group of kids out here, and they've come up with a major find. Pretty neat stuff. Another thing Kids in the Creek does, it gives them exposure to environmental science careers. We have engineers out there, water quality engineers, and bioengineers out there. We have fisheries biologists. We have benthic biologists out there. We have communicators, educators. All these help out. So kids, they learn that, or they get exposed to that, and I think that's a great opportunity for them. The basic focus of Kids in the Creek is to teach students and participants the basic factors influencing a stream's biological health. The first learning station is where we take the kids through the Index of Biotic Integrity process, and we're shocking fish. So what do we do to shock fish? We have a backpack shocker on our biologist. This temporarily stuns the fish. We have the kids and waders so they don't feel any of the shock. They help hold a seine.
Just like posts in a car battery, the current runs between them, and any fish between those will be stunned, and will recover very shortly afterwards. But generally with the current flowing the way it is, we'll get washed nicely into a net, and we can count them, measure them, and get their ID and let them go.
We're taking data, and again, we get one of the kids to help take the data. This is put onto data sheets where it's entered into a computer. They'll look at the species of fish. We'll help them identify the fish.
This is a stone roller.
We'll also talk to them about some of these species are pollution tolerant, some are intolerant.
Some of them have kind of a delicate life history and their age and things, so that means that this is a good place. When you see that many saffrons and that many war paints, that means you've got pretty good water.
So those are indicators of a stream's health. If we're finding all tolerant species, then and no intolerance, then that indicates a problem with the stream. If we're finding both tolerant and intolerant, then we can make a general assumption that the stream's in pretty good health. Then we as biologists have to take this back and assess the data, but you can make generalizations when you're out there in the field, and the kids can do this too.
People fish for these lots. Anybody catch any of these?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Oh man, I want you like them. They're fun.
Same thing happens with the benthic organisms, the aquatic insects. You go to different habitats in the stream. Some organisms live under rocks. Some live in leaf piles. Some live in the grasses of the stream. They're just flat on the bottom of the stream. So those are all different habitats. Same thing in fish. So you look at all those habitats, you take the kids through this process, and they collect all this information. You help them ID it.
We don't want to heat them up too much.
A hellgrammite.
We're picking out all the insects and all the little bugs that we find in the creek.
We've got a lot of different kinds of insects here that we got out of the stream. What does that mean?
Some insects are real sensitive to pollution. If we find a lot of those in the creek, that means the creek is real healthy.
It's in the mayfly flanton family. It's the first one he found today. It's like got a little hard shell and two little spikes on the side. And he said it was like less tolerant than the rest of these. And different to find around here.
Yeah, there's less insects in this creek than there is in the other one. And there's not many different varieties of fish either, because this water's dirtier and it's got more like sediment and stuff in it. And it's hard if trout don't live in this river, because it's hard for them to lay their eggs because there isn't really much gravel around here. Yeah, they lay their eggs in gravel, and the water passes through the gravel and it gives the eggs oxygen. And in this river there's too much dirt, so it covers the eggs, and they don't get that much oxygen.